Welcome back everyone, and it's time to go balls deep! Today we are talking about every sign why Sarada will be Hokage, and also covering a bit about her Sharingan of how it will be unlocked to achieve the Mangekyou. We will cover the foreshadowing and development of her character that will become who she needs to be acknowledged. Remember, Itachi Uchiha said to Naruto that it's not that if you become Hokage, everyone will acknowledge you, it is the one who is acknowledged that can become Hokage. Sarada Uchiha is already learning this philosophy through Naruto, where Naruto has preached this multiple times throughout the series to Sarada and Kawaki. For example, Naruto views the entire village as his family and uses his accomplishments, kind nature, and the concept of ninshu to uphold the values that make people acknowledge you as the greatest person to be Hokage. We see many of the villagers love Naruto just as we do as fans, and they want his safety. For instance, when Momoshiki Otsutsuki attacked and he sacrificed himself in this beautiful scene, the anime clearly showed the concern everyone had and couldn't bear to see him go. Check out this clip. The writers of Boruto have clearly tried to tie in Itachi's words into the story, because when Kakashi went around to film the students in his disguise, Sarada addressed the famous inspirational lines he bestowed upon Naruto. Sarada stated, "My goal is to become the Hokage. So first I have to become a worthy shinobi, one who is acknowledged by everyone." This highlights the very reason Naruto is regarded as the greatest Hokage. It's mainly because his philosophy embodies all the other Kage as he brought about peace and is selfless. One of the themes of Naruto that needs closure in Boruto is regarding the Uchiha clan finally resolving their differences, and this is by one of them achieving the dream of being a Kage, something that Mother Uchiha, Obito, and Fugaku Uchiha, the grandfather of Sarada, failed to do so. Many of you may not know that even Itachi Uchiha's father was a candidate to be the Hokage, and the clan was pushing this idea. Hiruzen and Danzo had private talks about it, but the position was then given away for the likes of Minato Namikaze. This is when resentment starts to grow even further, and the political downfall of Konoha starts surging to more negativity. This gives even more reason to Sarada becoming the next Hokage after Naruto, as it would end many plot lines with this succession. Unlike, picking someone like Konohamaru, we all saw what he did against Jigen, right? Konohamaru needs to know his place again, unfortunately. Why, Konohamaru? Why?
Bitch, are you dumb? What is this nigga doing now?
Know your fucking place, trash.
Also, we all know one of the reasons why the Uchiha couldn't achieve their goals is, shall I say it's because of this dude?
And his name is John C.
Like, I know we all like to joke about Tobirama's hatred for them, but Tobirama understood the nature of their Sharingan more than the others, as he's the one that researched it. Tobirama is one of the key factors in our Boruto theories regarding Sarada's Sharingan being the opposite of the other Uchiha clan members, since the cycle of hatred was destroyed by Naruto and Sasuke together. In Naruto chapter 619, Tobirama stated that Uchiha feel love more than others. In fact, it's when they lose someone they love so much when their ocular jutsu activates a special chakra in their brain to unlock their powers further. One reason the Uchiha found it hard to be Hokage was because it was the manipulation of Black Zetsu on the ancient tablets and the curse of Indra that made their love turn into hatred, which Sasuke overcame by forgiving the world and Naruto. If we look back at Naruto chapter 403, Uchiha's so-called curse of hatred was an emotion that is a negative one, brought on by stress or loss. However, the emotion can also be positive, driven by a desire to protect, mentioned in chapter 242, or even reunite with a loved one, as seen with Sarada in Naruto chapter 704 page 16 when she was about to meet Sasuke once again. This concept is explored more in Naruto chapter 619, as we were told the Sharingan is described as an eye that reflects the heart. So by Sarada being loved loving and caring just like Naruto, her Sharingan will reflect upon those emotions and she can achieve the feats that are needed to be acknowledged by others to become the Hokage in the first place. We have covered Sarada's possible Mangekyou Sharingan extensively already in the past, so if you are interested in the idea of how Sarada will unlock the Sharingan via love rather than hatred, unlike the other Uchiha, you must watch the video being displayed to you right now. The link will be in the pinned comment. Next time, please hit the notification bell for the channel so you don't miss out on uploads, and also smash that like button as it helps us more than you know. I also want to shout out every single one of you that have bought our merch. It means more to us than you know and it helps support the channel even further. We have a discount code in the pinned comment below. We have Sasuke, Naruto, Jigen and other Boruto merch on sale. But let's get back to the video. Now, as you can see from the previous chapters, Sarada and Uchiha love more than the average human. This has been showcased multiple times in Boruto, where Sarada enacts the ideals of Naruto's teachings. In the past, Konoha didn't want to acknowledge an Uchiha as Hokage because of the political regime that was going on from the likes of freaking Danzo, the dude we all hate, and the mistrust between the clans. Orochimaru even pointed it out in chapter 619 that it was partly Tobirama's fault that the Uchiha were ostracized since they were in the lower parts of the village and made as the police force. Tobirama's policies didn't make it easy for them at all. But now things are different. Naruto embodies all the best qualities of the other Kage and has made people believe in a system where peace can be achieved through understanding one another and not misplacing judgment on those that have not deserved it, where the sins of the father shouldn't be passed down the line for those that did not commit those sins. For example, Kawaki is a massive case of Naruto's Nindo, and that's what Sarada tries to copy by practicing Ninshu. Sarada's treatment of Kawaki is abnormally nice and caring compared to the other students and villages. Ninshu is the religion and the peaceful precursor of modern ninjutsu created by Hagoromo Otsuki, the first one to understand and teach the mystery of chakra. The teachings of Ninshu were meant to give people a better understanding of themselves as well as others, and it led the world into an era of peace. Naruto exactly propagates these words to Kawaki when he asks what chakra is, where Naruto stated that it's a power that connects people. Going back to the scene, Sarada comes close to hitting the target, but ultimately misses until Sasuke helps redirect her shuriken. This is a metaphor of one of the key components of becoming Hokage. After all, you don't become the Hokage to be acknowledged by everyone, but you become the Hokage by being acknowledged by everyone. And so Sasuke helping direct her shuriken symbolizes to Sarada that the road to becoming Hokage is not one she can take alone. This is the lesson Sasuke is teaching her, as that is where he ultimately failed during his upbringing. This brings us to our next sign and foreshadowing. The sense of togetherness has helped Sarada grow into a fine team leader, as we saw in episode 206 and 207 of the Boruto anime. During the events of the new Team 7 vs Boro fight, a deadly virus was emitted from Boro which caused Kawaki, Mitsuki and Boruto to start suffering from a slow but deadly toxin which was paralyzing their bodies. However, the Hokage brain of Sarada kicked in. She ordered the rest of the team to retreat, which at the time confused them, but they later discovered the fatal situation that they were in and even admit that Sarada was responsible for saving their lives. The rest of Team 7 put all their trust into Sarada, knowing that she was capable of pulling the task off, destroying Boro's core with a Chidori, to the point where Boruto even left it to the last moment to backflip out of the way of Sarada, showcasing that at that moment he even trusted her with his life. Her calm demeanor, analytical mindset and spirit of camaraderie is what ignited Sarada's role as the team captain of this newly formed Team 7 squad. This is what separates her from everyone else and makes her a standout candidate for Hokage. And by being a team captain, Sarada is already fulfilling that role, just on a smaller scale. Sarada has showcased this in many fights. Even against Deepa, she saved Boruto's life and is always first in line to make a strategy with the team against any opponent they face. She is willing to take the lead and sacrifice herself for their plans to work. For example, against Boro, Deepa, or even facing off against Ashimaru in the early stages of their career, making strategies that succeed overall, bringing out the best of every character. Think of it this way: a team captain in a sport isn't necessarily always the most skillful player or the one who scores the most goals. It's the one that the rest of the team can put their trust in and is an inspiration. Being a captain shows that you're trusted by your teammates to bring out the best in them. Come up with the best strategy for the situation at hand, accept responsibility, and of course set an example by giving it your all. Sarada doesn't let losses or downfall get in the way, as this is what pushes her even further to work harder to achieve her goals. Once losing against Deepa initially, she ended up training with Sasuke and Sakura. During training with Sakura, Sarada was able to prove to her mother the resolve of never giving up despite training for hours on end. Nearing the point of exhaustion, Sarada never stopped. She forced herself to surpass her limits on the spot, and by doing so, she was even able to forcibly copy not only Sakura's movement with her Sharingan, but more impressively copy Sakura's expertly controlled chakra flow by measuring the timing of her chakra flow to match Sakura's, which allowed her to replicate the force of Sakura's punch, proving that she is the combination of the best attributes Sakura and Sasuke possess all in one person. Looking back at Boruto episode 35, when Sarada was a child, in the beginning state of her character development, she stated to Boruto that it's not her place to say anything to those that don't want to be a ninja or achieve their dreams, as she wasn't brave enough to speak to Namida and Wasabi.
Who?
The cat girl and I think the annoying screaming one?
Who?
How do I put it? Trash. Yo, that's a violation. Anyways, Boruto advised to Sarada that if she's too scared to stick her neck into something, then how can she achieve becoming something like Hokage, when these are the times when people need her most, to be an inspiration. In that same episode, Sarada convinces them and Boruto tells her that she can surpass Naruto if she really tried.
This is #1 bullshit.
But going back to the point, Sarada's treatment of Kawaki is way more positive now due to this development over time. She encourages him to open up and teaches him many things regarding the village with welcomed open arms like Naruto. She even told him what Naruto taught her, that you have to treat the entire village like a family. Sarada opened up about her feelings regarding her father Sasuke, as she knew this was a topic Kawaki could relate to as they bear their grievances. For example, Sarada admits her jealousy of Boruto having an awesome dad like Naruto, whereas Sasuke was always away trying to protect Konoha from Otsutsuki. She reminded him of their shared feelings and connections with Naruto, as they all have the same goal of wanting to save him. This is partly why Kawaki fires up himself to go on the mission against Boro. Kawaki resonates with Sarada's feelings and respects her as a friend, or, you know, some of you fans, I'm telling you, you already ship them. And that naughty way.
You weird, buddy. You're weird.
Another reason why Sarada will become Hokage is because the initial spark of this dream was caused by Naruto himself. Kishimoto purposefully made it so. Kishimoto stated that he wants Sarada's role model to be Naruto and Boruto's to be Sasuke, as it will be interesting to see how it develops oppositely. The Naruto Gaiden manga, which was adapted in Boruto, was written by Kishimoto himself. It's canon. In the manga and adaptation, we clearly see Sarada is heartbroken with the false results that Karin is her mother rather than Sakura, as she felt like she was lied to her entire life. And I was thinking about that shit, I was like, oh boy, imagine if she finds out about Itachi's massacre because of Konoha's politics and selfishness. Shit's gonna go down. Sarada thinks Naruto is a liar as a Hokage. His kind nature and warm aura with chakra is just a facade, just like Sakura is. She states something really important that only a true Hokage would be able to answer. Sarada yells, "Why should I help someone who isn't my mother or even anything to me?" Her Sharingan activates, where the manga states it's her sadness being reflected in those eyes. Sarada decides to abandon the village, but Naruto witnesses all of this and knows what's going on with her Sharingan, so he counterbalances it all with love and affection. Naruto repeats the notion that as Hokage, the entire village is his family, so he will acknowledge the feeling she has. Naruto's basically like Dominic from Fast and Furious, you see? Everything is about family.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Naruto states that Sarada shouldn't call out what he says as lip service, as she shouldn't presume what's in his heart. Naruto shows Sarada what's inside of it, where he uses Ninshu to show the memories of himself and her father Sasuke. He states connections are not only built by time and blood, there are some bonds stronger than those which involve thoughts and feelings. And that's when the ultimate talk no jutsu was used on Sarada to make her acknowledge her memories that she does love Sakura and Sasuke, and it doesn't matter if Sakura isn't blood related. If she has the feeling of wanting to help someone in the first place, she should act upon it, as that is what makes a real shinobi. This is where Sarada's character gets more development, as she witnesses Naruto's words come true in an instant. Sasuke and Sakura display their love for one another in the midst of battle against Shin Uchiha. They sacrifice for each other and state that their connections and feelings are all true for each other due to her birth, that Sarada herself is the living embodiment of their will and love for each other. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when Sarada was inspired to be Hokage, someone that can be just like Naruto. Sasuke points to her forehead just like Itachi did, and they share their bonds even further by spending time together. Sarada starts to understand the meaning and symbolism behind her upbringing, making her more mature. In fact, later on, Sasuke trained Sarada often and even acknowledged her dream of wanting to be Hokage, which we saw in Boruto episode 95, when Sasuke informed Sarada that at one point of time, even he had tried to become Hokage, but admitted his vision was warped and he had to rely on the help of his stubborn friend to put him straight. Now, of course, we know that friend was Naruto. But the lesson this teaches to Sarada is one of great importance. Through the misdirection of her father, Sasuke can ensure that Sarada follows the correct path on her goal of becoming Hokage, which is symbolically demonstrated in the scene where Sarada misses her shuriken shot. This snaps the bamboo plank free and sends it flowing down the river with her target on. So the metaphor Sasuke is trying to address is in regards to the target being Sarada's goal of becoming Hokage. She throws another shuriken to symbolize her not giving up on her dream after what her father had just told her. This is good advice to make sure Sarada doesn't follow down his dark path and will rely upon being a good leader at Team 7, where Boruto claims to support her will also coming true, and she won't forget her friends, which again is something Itachi told Naruto. Itachi said never forget the ones that help you on your journey to your dream. In fact, this collision was so great that the shockwave caused by the power of the two of them only nearly touching repelled each other with equal force and was able to cause a crater in the ground around them. If you combine this fixation on bettering herself with her natural talent, you begin to understand what frightening potential she possesses. What is important, like I said, is her mindset to combine all of the greatest attributes to use them to match up to the strength of her opponents and to keep pushing until she does so. This level of guts and determination rivals even that of Naruto's, which makes her the perfect candidate to be the Hokage. Now, apart from the obvious point that Sarada informs Boruto that she wants to be just like Naruto and the Hokage outright, when looking at the signs, we have to first look at what Boruto is as a story. It's a story about breaking free from the past norms. Sarada embodies this with both her Sharingan awakening being different and now her path to being Hokage. Every Hokage so far has been connected to the Senju in some way, whether it be directly by blood or being trained by a sensei with direct connections to the Senju. Sarada would mostly break that mold. She is a child of a rival clan to the Senju, the Uchiha. Next, she's already racking up the skill that would make her one of the most skilled Hokage out of all the 7. If you look at the 7 Hokage, only the first 3 were able to naturally learn 5 changes in chakra nature. She's already learned 3 changes in chakra nature at the age of 12. She naturally has fire release. She picked up the lightning release in the Hidden Mist field trip arc, and she gained the wind release both in the anime when she copied Mitsuki's wind release to help defeat Tsukio. We know from Naruto's chakra nature training, from Shikamaru's quote to Naruto, when Naruto asks Asuma for tips on wind release, that it takes Jonin several years of chakra nature drills to add another change in chakra nature, and Jonin typically only have 2. Ninja who have more than 2 chakra natures are seen as elite. Sarada has 3 changes in chakra nature at 13 to 12 years old, and due to recently training with Sakura to, as I mentioned, to master chakra control and also mastering Sharingan with Sasuke, imagine the efficiency she will have since she's trained with Sakura, eventually having perfect chakra control. She will be able to use all elemental ninjutsu combined with a Sharingan. She's going to be pretty OP. Sarada, being a character who eagerly researches history, shown when she reads the history of the Uchiha in the library about the Sharingan, Sarada is likely to see the pattern of the mistakes of the past and therefore make adjustments. Given Naruto and Kakashi have had the best runs as Hokage in terms of striking the balance between domestic and foreign affairs, Sarada will also do the same. Anyway guys, that is everything we wanted to say in regards to Sarada's potential of becoming Hokage. We have covered every single sign so far. Make sure to buy our merch, smash the like button and the notification bell as we cover Boruto on a weekly basis. If you have any topics you want us to cover, put it in the comment section below, and goodbye.